The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by W. What is W? W is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. W contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. W's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by W, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. W's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. W Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Monday morning following a sports-packed weekend. I hope that everyone had a great weekend, and thank you so much for being here, tuning in with the show. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that other stuff. Got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and jump into it right now. WrestleMania was fun. I know I sound like a WWE apologist right now, but I enjoyed it. Outside the commercials, I think we just got so used to not having commercials while we watched WrestleMania or any of the PLEs and stuff like that. But now that it's on ESPN, and despite the fact that you pay $30 a month for it, you're still going to wind up getting commercials, which was a little overkill. Hopefully the next time it's not as commercialized. But I mean, that right there, I could understand why people would be upset about that. Like coming in, really messing up your viewing experience of what you're used to watching, especially if you're a long-term wrestling fan. And the thing that sucked the most about it is, like, while I'm watching, I didn't get to watch live on Saturday because I was at the soccer stadium, at the baseball stadium with the soccer team here, the El Paso Locomotive. So I didn't get to watch live. So on Sunday, I wanted to watch, just basically binge watch as much WrestleMania as possible. And I couldn't fast forward through the commercials. That, to me, was the biggest travesty of it all. Like they should have at least allowed me, as someone going back and doing a rewatch, to fast forward through those commercials. Because that was rough. That was rough, trying to get through all that. Well, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the majority of the matches. I always love the pageantry that WrestleMania brings you. Some of the people didn't get their entrance on TV, which kind of sucks, because WrestleMania entrances are a huge thing if you are a hardcore wrestling fan. The Prototype saying hello. Hello, Prototype. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the show. We talk sports here. We also talk anything else. So if you want to talk, give me a subject. Maybe I know something about it. If it's controversial, we'll see. We might walk the line on that one. Also, I do want to give a shout out, give a little bit of information that's going to be happening going on in the future. My guy Jonathan Hood from ESPN 1000 wants this show to be a part of his network. So in May, we will be expanding the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton and being a part of the Under the Hood podcast channel as well. Shirley King saying President Trump is great. You are entitled to that opinion. Not all opinions are correct, and I will disagree with you. Humbly. We're not going to get into a conversation about it, but I'll just, you got your opinions, I got mine. We'll go with that. Oh, see, I don't know anything about Roblox. My kids don't even play Roblox either. He says maybe Roblox because it's a game I play a lot. I already have 100,000 Robux. I mean, 100,000 seems like a lot, so I guess that means you spent a fair amount of time doing that. It seems like again, I have a 13-year-old who's about to be 14, and I have an 8-year-old, and they've never gotten into Roblox. I'm not 100% sure why. As a teacher, like I used to be an 8th grade teacher and a high school teacher. Some of my students would play it. I never watched because that's just not a thing that I was into. But hey, that's cool. It means you spent a lot of time. You've earned a lot going that way. So I mean, cool. Good for you. What are you going to spend your 100,000 Robux on? Because I feel like that's going to be. I don't even know what it is. You could probably tell me what it is, and I still have no clue at all what the hell that is. My apologies. We found something that I don't know anything about. There's a lot of stuff out there that I don't know anything about, guys. I'm not cocky enough to think that I am the smartest man in the room. Although I am the only person in this room, so. And even then, probably not the smartest. My dog is hanging out down by my feet right now. But I was a fan. I liked WrestleMania. I thought WrestleMania was a fun time. Again, I think the best match, obviously the main event is always going to be the best match, but Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, it was great storytelling. It was so much fun to go through and watch. You had the mindset that CM Punk was going to, maybe beat Roman Reigns. Not me. I always acknowledge our tribal chief. It's the one thing that I do. My dude Tommy Cananza tuning in saying, what's up, Tip? What's up, Tom? Hope that you're having yourself a fantastic day today. I hope you had a good weekend, a restful weekend. I had one day off. Got to go into work today, get ready for baseball this upcoming week. El Paso Chihuahuas back in town Tuesday through Sunday. Hopefully see some of y'all out at the stadium. And if you see me, say hi. I might look like I'm super stressed. I probably am. But talking to y'all would make me so much happier. If I can have a human conversation, it would make me so much happier. Tommy, don't know if you saw, I'm pretty sure you did see. Dexter Lawrence was traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals give him a 1-year, $28 million extension. I like that move for the Bengals. I've got to see, I didn't look right now, but I got to see what the Giants got. They got the number 10 overall pick in this week's draft. Lawrence is now under contract with the Cincinnati Bengals for the next 3 seasons, which is going to be huge. The Prototype asking, can I do super chat? I don't know what super chat is, so now I'm terrified. I feel old. You bring up Roblox, you bring up super chat. I don't know what this is. Tommy, help me out. You're a moderator, Tommy. I know I did that as a joke, but I mean it's still funny to me. You can kick out Augustine anytime you want, except for whenever he's on the show. That's the thing. Tommy's saying I did. That's crazy. At least he's not in the Oh, in the NFC East, yes, 100%. I agree with that as well. Tommy's saying super chats are paid comments. LOL. I mean, I'm down if I get paid for it, or do I have to pay for people to do that? I don't know. You would figure, Tommy, with as long as I've done this, that I would know what any of that is. The prototype saying it's like giving people money. But I don't want to give people money. Like, I can't give people money. If it gets me paid, cool. One of these days, I'll like be technologically advanced. And you would figure with what my job is that I would know the majority of this. Tommy's saying no, they pay. I mean, I'm down then. Let's go. Whatever super chats are, let's. I don't know if we'll get there, but I'm down. I'm assuming that's something I've got to set up, right? Or does YouTube get paid? Because if people are paying YouTube, I don't want people to pay YouTube. I'd rather them pay me. Give me your money. That was a bad Danhausen. And I'm probably the only person because, yeah, my wrestling conversation did not take off the way that I thought it would. But that's why I led the show with it, because I know that the audience comes later in the show. Tommy's saying, got to have 1,000 subs first. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we're not going to get there. I do have to get better, Tommy, at like promoting the YouTube page. So I think that's going to be the next one. So yeah, we got to get to the 1,000 subs. Don't have 1,000 subs yet. So prototype, hang on to that $100 for now. Unless you share the page and you can get me up to 1,000, then we can figure something out. But save your money right now. I am not up to the YouTube standard of what I need in order to get super chats. So we'll get there. I think I'm at like 100 subs. Now I say that out loud. 6,000 followers on Instagram, 2,000 followers on TikTok, 2,000 followers on X, 100 followers on YouTube. Subs on YouTube. I've got to pay more attention to that stuff. One of these days I will. I see that my guy, Asher Wildman, well, that's on another post. The prototype saying, I usually don't spend my money because I don't like losing it. I'm the same way. That's why I'm the worst when I go to casinos. Like, I'll go to a casino, spend $20, but if I lose that $20 within like 10 minutes, I am in a horrible, horrible mood. I don't like losing. Again, the super freak competitor that I am, I cannot stand losing. And all gambling is Tommy, you have no idea how bad I've been trying to get Blue Chew to sponsor some of the stuff that I do, just because I think it would be hilarious. And again, like 90% of the jokes that I do on the show are for me. I feel like I'm out of focus. There we go. That's better. Someone keeps coming. It's probably my kids. They keep coming in here messing with like my camera and stuff like that. No, but we got it focused. I'm a little better in focus. I was blurry earlier. Now I'm looking, halfway better now. But yes, I've been trying, Tommy. I've been trying to get Blue Chew to sponsor the show. I want them to do stuff on YouTube. I'm probably going to have to just do it on Instagram because that's where I have the larger platform, averaging, what was it last month? 285,000. There we go. The prototype saying, did you know that I have a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, and a Miata? I'm assuming that's going to be in a game. But if you got those in real life, hell, that's awesome. I hope that you are giving some of that money to charities, helping out other people. I've always thought about that. Like, what would you do if you won the lottery? And one of the things is, like, I would donate X amount of money to a church, right? I'm basically buying God's forgiveness. You can buy anything if you have enough money. Tommy's asking, what was the compensation for Sexy Dexy? All I'm looking at right now is this year's number 10 overall pick. I feel like there has to be more. Looking it up. Radio guy, that's why you can tell that I don't like silence. That's all it was the number 10 overall pick in this year's draft. That yeah, from everything I'm reading, that's all it is just the number 10 overall pick in this year's draft. That is baffling to me. So, Tommy, we would have overpaid. Us going with the first and a third, we would have overpaid. Prototype saying, yeah, he's got that in real life. I won the lottery and won 1 million monies. Tommy saying, really? Damn. Like that's all it was for Dexter Lawrence to go to this. And I get it. Like, it would have been a pipe dream, Tommy, for us to think that the Dallas Cowboys would have been able to get that. But I feel like if you give the Giants your number 1, which is what, 12, right? Your first round pick and a third round pick, you get Dexter Lawrence, because if that's all it was just the number 10 overall pick. Tommy's saying I would have given them 12 and a third, or 12 and Kenny Clark. I would not have wanted to give up Kenny Clark. That would not be my way of doing it. A first and a third, I think, wow. It's wild to me. I guess the contract extension part of it would have been difficult for the Cowboys to pull off, especially if you're trying to get George Pickens. Keep George Pickens, not get George Pickens. You already got him, but you want to try to keep him because that helps the offense be super sustainable in the future. But only a first round pick. I get it that it's the number 10 overall pick, but that just doesn't seem like enough. And I guess that's where you're coming from. Like, you trade the money away. You trade Clark because you get something, but now you've got that guy going up against you with the New York Giants, right? I'd much rather them have trade like draft picks and stuff like that to a team in the division, as opposed to giving them an asset that you know is going to be halfway decent for them. Because with the draft, especially with the Giants, they haven't been drafting super well over the last decade or so. Also, I saw something yesterday that made me feel extremely old, and it was that it's been over 11 years, almost 12 years, since Odell Beckham's one-handed catch against the Dallas Cowboys. It felt like just a couple of weeks ago. It genuinely has just felt like just a couple of weeks ago. Tommy's saying Kenny Clark has no guaranteed money, if I'm correct. I'd have to look at the contract. We'll see. I think I love whenever people comment on the wrong post of mine. I put up a thing on Facebook today, rage baiting people, because it's my favorite thing to do. Yeah. And they're like, Warriors in 6. I love it. I love it, though. It's so good. I was watching my San Antonio Spurs yesterday. I'm not going to change the subject just yet, but I was watching the San Antonio Spurs yesterday. And damn it, guys, they're giving me a lot of hope. I hate where I'm at as a fan of all my teams, because I feel like I'm going to be disappointed. The Spurs don't do that to me very often. And even if they don't win the championship this year, I don't think it'll be disappointing. But I think I'd still be sad as a fan of the San Antonio Spurs if they weren't able to win something. Let's go. Let's look at the salary cap stuff. You know that's one of my favorite things to do. Let's see what teams have what. This obviously, you know what I do. I go to sporttrack.com. Keeps track of all the teams' salary cap that they've got. The team with the most salary cap space right now are the Tennessee Titans. $64 million for the Tennessee Titans. Where are Cowboys at? I don't feel like that's right, saying Dallas only has $15 million in cap space. Something about that don't seem right to me. We'll see. I know it's going to get adjusted. Let's look at the Dallas Cowboys roster, who they have, who's getting what, where guaranteed money is. We only have $42 million in dead cap space, so that's good. Dak obviously getting the most. George Pickens right now getting $27 million. CeeDee Lamb getting $19 million. Quinnen Williams getting $21 million. Where is Kenny Clark? Kenny Clark has a cap hit of $12 million, a base salary of $8.8 million. But it doesn't say that he's got anything guaranteed. So at least that, right? Like if you do cut Kenny Clark or trade Kenny Clark, I guess if you cut him, the dead cap space is $11 million. I mean, you're 1.7 off, right? But he's getting 8.8 as a base salary this year. I'm not seeing anything on guarantees, but I'm going to do one more thing here. Yeah, Tommy, you're right. He does not have any guaranteed money remaining for 26 and 27. So you basically got him for 2 more years on nothing. Well, I want to look at this, though. Like, I'm really interested in this contract here. Although his base salary next season jumps up to 18 mil. Damn. But again, like none of that is guaranteed, which is insane to me. He does have a potential out. For the team does have a potential out for him, though. That's where the $11 million dead cap hit comes from. The prototype saying 2027 for you, and I'm in Saudi Arabia, and my year is 2026. There we go. I'm good with it. I was thinking of going to Saudi next year for WrestleMania. Now that I know that WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi, I'm good with him. And Tommy's saying, yeah, there's no penalty if the Cowboys trade him. That to me, yeah, now that becomes interesting. But like I like what the Cowboys have on their defensive line. You don't have any guarantees. The base salary to me isn't anything to scare you, right? So I wouldn't trade Kenny Clark right now unless you're able to get something out of him. I guess the only thing that I would do is if you're able to get a couple of draft picks out of him, then I would trade Kenny Clark. And it doesn't have to be like a first round, second round. Maybe you get like a 4th or 5th round pick for him. Because an interior defensive lineman that can create pressure is a premium in the NFL. But for me, I really like what the Cowboys are starting on the defensive line. I genuinely do. And I think that trading him might, again, unless there's something that you know that you guarantee is going to be better, I wouldn't do it. I like having him and Quinnen Williams right there next to each other, going with like a 4-3 style defense. I really like it. And then obviously seeing what the Cowboys do in the draft going forward. I'm looking for my website here that I like to go to for mock drafts. So I can do research. I didn't have any time this weekend, Tommy, to research what I wanted for the draft. So I'm probably going to wind up doing all that on Thursday. No, again, I agree. I agree. Like, if you're going to get Dexter Lawrence out of that trade, you trade Kenny Clark and a first-round pick to the Giants for Dexter Lawrence. I am 100% with you on that one. That's why, to me, I'm so surprised that all Dexter Lawrence was able to get was the number 10 overall pick. I would have thought Cincinnati could have given up more. So if I'm the Giants, I don't think I capitalized as much as I possibly could on the trade value of Dexter Lawrence. That did not seem like a really good trade in favor of the Giants, at least not in my mind. I always go to like obscure sites. There we go. That's what I needed. And let's see who's at 10 right now. So right now you have the New York Football Giants. I mean, maybe they're hoping. Maybe that's what the Giants are doing. They're hoping that they get Reuben Bain. Maybe Reuben Bain falls that low to them. Reuben Bain at Miami was an absolute monster, but I can't see him dropping to 10. So unless the Giants are going to use that number 10, I mean, they do have 2 picks in the top 10 though. So that might be they get Reuben Bain at 5, and then they can go and get somebody else, because I can see Reuben Bain falling or being 5, right? Like but I can also see him being like 3 or 4. Right, like Tennessee getting a guy like Reuben Bain would be good. I know a lot of people right now are saying Jeremiah Love to Tennessee. You team him up. I don't know. I don't know. Like if the Giants have their eyes set on getting Reuben Bain, then that would be great. Because now you're kind of, you're getting a defensive lineman after trading a defensive lineman. You got a younger guy who's going to be on a rookie contract. You team him up with like Thibodeau and all them. Oh my God, that would be a monstrous defensive line for the New York Giants. I need the Jets to draft him. I know they're slated to get Arvell Reese right now, but I could see Reuben Bain going number 2. Also, if Reese goes to the Giants, I don't think I'd be happy with that either. I do not want the Giants to get a defensive lineman. They already have a really good defensive line. I want to see all the players because I know I'm missing somebody. UTEP's own Roy Robertson Harris, whatevs. Again, like I know they're missing something on this list. We have Kayvon Thibodeau. Jeremiah Love to the Giants would be interesting. Team him up with Scadaboo, because I don't think Scadaboo is going to be able to be like your number 1 back all the time, especially not following that injury. Abdul Carter, like again, like I don't. They've got a really good defense in New York. They're going to be a really good defensive team. But again, maybe you get a little bit of love to the Giants. They lost their sexy Dexy. Send a little bit of love their way. There's one thing I know they're definitely going to get, and that's just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Go visit myhappynuts.com. Guys, take care of yourself. From your pits to your tip, you should be taken care of at all times. Get that comfort cream. Get that comfort powder. Only $16. That's it. You can take care of yourself at an affordable price. Make sure that you are feeling the best way you possibly can, especially as it's starting to get hotter up here. We got the summer coming up, right? Looking right down the gun of summer. We're in El Paso. It's going to be 1,000 degrees outside. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure your boys are comfortable. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. Tommy's saying that the Giants are one player away from being elite. I really think that as well. I'm looking here. I'm trying to see where they have any issues, and it might be to me in the secondary. Not a big fan of Tyler Nubin. Not a big fan of Javon Holland. Corner is kind of, whatever with Greg Newsome. I'm just not a big fan of that secondary. Tommy's saying, damn it, you got me in line at McDonald's today. LOL. I tried to lower the volume really fast and dropped my phone. I love it. Shout out to McDonald's that got to hear Tommy's phone giving everybody just the tip with www.myhappynuts.com. Tommy's saying on defense, though, LOL. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be desired along the offensive line for the Giants. There's a lot to be desired. I mean, if Malik Neighbors comes back and is somewhat healthy, maybe, just maybe, you can say something. I think the injury to Cam Scattaboo is going to kind of sit there a little bit. I do like Tyrone Tracy. I think Tyrone Tracy is a serviceable running back. Is he even still under contract with them? That's how far out I've been. Yeah, he's still there. Devin Singletary, not a big fan of. Darius Slayton, I think, is a little overrated. I was trying to see if they still had old boy, but it doesn't look like they do. Yeah, I guess he must have left somewhere in free agency. I've got to start really looking back into this stuff, guys. That's how you can tell the job has really taken over. Because I didn't even really get to see all the free agent moves and stuff like that. I'm going to have to really, before the NFL draft, really get, my mock stuff together. I have to. It will be done. Let's look at the draft order right now. You have the Las Vegas Raiders drafting at number 1. Again, I've said it multiple times. I would trade that number 1 overall pick. You have so many more problems on your roster than just that number 1 overall pick. To me, that's what you've got to, if I'm the Raiders, I'm trying to get a haul. I'm looking at some of these teams that might be, a little bit of a quarterback away. Maybe you should find a way to trade with the Rams, get that 13th overall pick and a bunch of other stuff. Now you give the Rams a quarterback of their future, or at least what they think would be the quarterback of their future. Maybe even Tampa Bay. Because I'm looking at the other ones here. One that would be interesting, maybe you trade that number 1 overall pick to Cleveland. Cleveland would be dumb enough to give a haul for that number 1 overall pick. Miami, maybe. That might be they might feel like they're a quarterback away. Baltimore for sure not. The Jets, no. The Lions, no. The Vikings, maybe. Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's drafting at number 21. That'd be like you would need a lot from Pittsburgh in order to get that. Also, I think Pittsburgh's more than a quarterback away. Or maybe it was just how bad their quarterback last year was. How old and bad their quarterback last year was. That geriatric F word that they had at quarterback with his liver spotted hands. But you have Vegas at number 1, the Jets at number 2, Arizona Cardinals at number 3. Arizona's got some problems. They got so many more problems that might be another one that I'd say maybe you find a way to try to trade that pick. The Arizona Cardinals, I'm looking at their salary cap right now as well. Let's see what they've got. They got a pretty good situation right now. They got $41 million in open salary cap space. Tommy asking, can you imagine Cleveland drafting another quarterback? LOL. Of course I can. They're the Cleveland Browns, man. Like, God, how many quarterbacks have they had now since they came back to the league? I got to look that one up. Okay, so since, oh my God. In 25 seasons, since the Cleveland Browns have come back, I've got to get this list because Tommy, you know how I am. You know how happy I get whenever I see these lists. Since coming back in 2000, the Cleveland Browns have had 42 starting quarterbacks. 42 starting quarterbacks. That is insane, man. And that's just since 2000. I forgot they came back in 1999. So then that means they had 44 starting quarterbacks since 1999. Tommy's saying Cleveland is horrible at drafting quarterbacks. They have to be cursed. And again, like, I feel so bad for that fan base, right? Because the Baltimore Ravens and the success the Baltimore Ravens had should have been the Cleveland Browns' success. That should have been Cleveland, right? Like, again, if you're a wrestling fan, you know what I'm going to say right here, the Dolph Ziggler, it should have been me. That is every single Cleveland Browns fan looking at the Baltimore Ravens and their success. But let's go over this list because, again, you know me, I love me a good list here. In 1999, it was Tim Couch and Ty Detmer, starting quarterbacks for the Cleveland Browns. Ty Detmer starting 2 games for him. In 2000, Doug Peterson, Tim Couch, and Spurgeon Wynn. I love the fact that I get to mention Spurgeon Wynn. In 2001, Tim Couch had every single start. All 16 games started by Tim Couch. In 2002, Tim Couch and Kelly Holcomb. In 2003, Kelly Holcomb and Tim Couch. They split it 8 games each. Tommy's saying that the best one was probably Baker Mayfield. He wasn't even that good in Cleveland. Poland, he wasn't even that good in Cleveland. He was decent, right? I'm trying to figure out what Poland might have been. That might be butt or something that you tried to go with there. Tommy's saying stupid autocorrect. It gets the best of us, brother. It really does. It gets the best of us. But Baker Mayfield was solid in Cleveland. He won a playoff game with them. Let's not forget. They were overtime with the Kansas City Chiefs and had them on their heels to go to the AFC Championship game. That's how close Baker Mayfield came to doing the impossible with the Cleveland Browns. Then he gets hurt, and they just ship him off to Carolina. 2004, Jeff Garcia, Luke McCown, Kelly Holcomb. 2005, Trent Dilfer and Charlie Fry. 2006, Charlie Fry and Derek Anderson. I had so much hope for Derek Anderson. 2007, once again, Derek Anderson and Charlie Fry. Derek Anderson started 15 of those games. This one, 2008, Derek Anderson starts 9 games. Brady Quinn, who I think a lot of people had hopes for, started 3 games. Ken Dorsey started 3 games, and Bruce Grodkowski started a singular game. 2009, Brady Quinn started the majority of the games at 9. Derek Anderson started 7. 2010, Colt McCoy starts 8 games. Jake Delhomme starts 4 games. Seneca Wallace started 4 games as well. In 2011, Colt McCoy and Seneca Wallace. 2012, my favorite Cleveland Browns quarterback of all time, Brandon the Weed Man Whedon, and Thad Lewis, whoever the hell Thad Lewis is. Split time. 2013, Jason Campbell, Brandon Whedon, Brian Hoyer. 2014, Brian Hoyer, who's still in the league, by the way, Johnny Manziel, and Connor Shaw. 2015, Josh McCown, Johnny Manziel, and Austin Davis. 2016, Cody Kessler, Robert Griffin III, and Josh McCown. 2017, Deshaun Kaiser and Kevin Hogan. Who the hell is Kevin Hogan? In 2018, Baker Mayfield started 13 games. That was his rookie season. Tyrod Taylor started 3. 2019 and 20, Baker Mayfield started the entire season for the Cleveland Browns. In 2021, Baker Mayfield had 14 starts, Case Keenum 2 starts, and Nick Mullins 1 start. 2022, Jacoby Brissett had 11 starts, and Deshaun Watson had 6 starts. 2023, this seems like a bad time for everybody. Deshaun Watson, 6 starts. Joe Flacco, 5 starts. Dorian Thompson Robinson, 3 starts. PJ Walker, 2 starts. Jeff Driscoll, 1 start. 2024, Jameis Winston, the greatest God has blessed me to play in snow. The greatest quote a quarterback has ever given us. Jameis Winston, Deshaun Watson, Dorian Thompson Robinson, and Bailey Zappi. Great name for Bailey Zappi. And 2025, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, and Joe Flacco. Man. I asked who is Kevin Hogan. I think that was his name. Yeah, who is Kevin Hogan? Tommy's saying, that's Hulk's cousin, brother. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Is Kevin Hogan still playing? This is what we are going to look up right now. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to look at that. I want to know Kevin Hogan stats. Let's go to Kevin Hogan's Pro Football Reference page. And let's see. Kevin Hogan played in 2016, 2017 as a Cleveland Browns quarterback. Did nothing. Like wasn't even on a roster. It doesn't even have like the Canadian Football League or any of that other stuff here. Just a blank space from 2018 to 2020. And in 2021 started or played in a game for the Tennessee Titans. He has completed 60 career passes out of 101 attempts, a 59.4 completion percentage. That ain't terrible. 621 yards, 4 tutties, and 7 interceptions. Kevin Hogan. I think I might need to find a Kevin Hogan jersey somewhere. But you know me, I just love obscure stuff. I do have a Johnny Manziel jersey. One of these days, maybe for the draft, I'll wear my Johnny Manziel Cleveland Browns jersey. I didn't think that Johnny Manziel was going to be great. I just thought it would be funny. The Johnny football, the money thing happening in Cleveland. Watching him do a bunch of cocaine in Vegas, like during the bye week, a great time. Tommy is saying that the Cleveland Browns are cursed, I tell you. I wonder if there is a curse, like a Cleveland Browns curse. Oh, yeah, I forgot the Cleveland sports curse. But you would have figured that would have been reversed whenever LeBron won the championship in 2016. Wow. Has it been that long? Oh, my God, decade. Since LeBron beat the Golden State Warriors. Tommy said that he thought that Johnny Manziel would be great. Oh, man, that's a rough one. That is a rough one. I can see why. Great. Got an email from work. That's part of the stresses of being, in the position that I'm in. I'm very blessed, don't get me wrong. But man, one of these days, I just like things to be smooth. We'll get there one day. I know we will. We'll get there one day. I will cry the day that happens. But there is a Cleveland sports curse centered around the failure to win a championship in any major league sport for 52 years from 1964 to 2016. 3 major league teams based in Cleveland contributed to the belief of a curse: the Browns, the Cavs, and the Guardians, the then Indians. The championship drought began after the Browns defeated the Baltimore Colts in the 1964 NFL championship game, 2 seasons before the first Super Bowl. The city's professional sports teams, including the short-lived Cleveland Barons franchise of the National Hockey League, went an unprecedented 147 combined seasons without a championship. The drought ended when the Cavaliers beat the Golden State Warriors in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals by overcoming a 3-1 deficit, an event widely interpreted as having broken the curse. But I don't see, what the curse was, right? Because, you have in baseball with the Red Sox, it was a curse of Babe Ruth, like the great Bambino. With the Chicago Cubs, it was the Billy Goat. I'm not seeing anything here that, would have done it. Are you can't be cursed just because you're bad. Or maybe you can. Who am I? I don't make the rules about curses. I'm not Danhausen. But it's all good. We got this. It is fine. I'm looking at my comment section. Looks a little weird right now. I minimized the screen, then I maximized it one more time, and now it's not looking that good. We're still good though. Looking at, once again, the NFL draft. I wanted to get through this here. Let's go over the top 10 picks here. Number 1 is Vegas. Number 2 are the Jets. Number 3 is Arizona. 4, the Tennessee Titans. 5, the New York Giants. 6, the Cleveland Browns. 7, the Washington Commanders. 8, the New Orleans Saints. 9, the Kansas City Chiefs. And then 10, once again, the New York Football Giants. I cannot see a scenario here where the Giants trade both those picks to try to move up to 1 to get Fernando Mendoza, because I like Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart is halfway decent. The interesting team here, I have 2 teams that are interesting being in the top 10. One is obviously the Kansas City Chiefs. And I have a sneaking suspicion that they're more than likely going to draft top 10 again next season because of the Patrick Mahomes injury. You have no need to rush him back. You have no expectations on that team this season. Let him get healthy, fully healthy, tank away this season, stockpile those draft picks, baby, and come back reloaded for 2027. The other interesting team here are the Washington Commanders, because let's not forget, this was a team that was in the NFC Championship game not too long ago, last season, the season before, right? 2 seasons ago. They were in the NFC Championship game. The issue with them is going to be what's going to happen with Jaden Daniels. Because you saw last year that horrific arm injury he had, trying to come back, he just wasn't the same guy after that. The offensive line for the Commanders is god-awful. Tommy's saying that there's a lot of rumors that Dallas is trying to trade up. The only person that I would try to trade up for if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, again, because I think, and it might be sacrilege to a lot of people, I think the best player in this draft is Reuben Bain. Hands down. If the Cowboys are going to draft up to be a top 5 pick, I would assume that it would have to be to try to get Reuben Bain. I don't know if you go after Jeremiah Love so much. My dude, the Crooked Commission, and Money Mike, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you too, my dude. I am so saddened that I wasn't able to do the show with you on Wednesday. My dude, I was so looking forward to it, but we wound up having a watch party for the soccer team because they were playing against an MLS team, our El Paso Locomotive. But man, I really wanted to do that with you, man. I got to find a way. We'll find a way. We'll start doing some more stuff together. Most Wednesdays, well, I guess half the Wednesdays going forward. I can't even say that because I know we have a Wednesday soccer game on the 29th as well. I'll figure it out. I got to get more time. The commission, it's okay, bro. We'll get you on after the draft. There we go. That's what I love to hear. I appreciate you, my dude. Nothing but love and support going your way. The only way I can see the Dallas Cowboys trading up, Tommy, is if it is to get Reuben Bain. And again, I think Reuben Bain is the best player in this draft. Tommy's saying I'd trade up for Bailey, Downs, Styles, or Bain. Sonny Styles, maybe, right? I do like David Bailey. Obviously, that's me being a Texas Tech fan. But again, like even with me being a Texas Tech fan, I still think Reuben Bain is the best player in this draft. To me, he's the one guy, and especially if you're the Cowboys, right? Like you have a good interior defensive line. You put Bain on the outside, that's a solid group of guys right there, man. I think what do they have him? They have him going to New Orleans. He'd be the one dude on New Orleans, and like that team would just, you double team him all day, and he's not going to get his numbers. And he'll probably get some numbers, but it's not going to be as great as what you'd think he could be. Who else did you say up here? Downs. I mean, yeah. According to this mock draft, they have Downs 1 pick ahead of the Cowboys. So I can see a scenario where he's still there for you at 12. So let's see who's like after that. According to this website, this mock draft, you have Jordan Tyson at number 10, Caleb Downs at number 11, Dylan Thieneman at number 12, which is another safety, right? And Spencer Fano at number 12. I don't think the Cowboys need to go offensive line here. I think the Cowboys have been really solid along the offensive line. Tommy's saying that he likes Bailey a little more than he likes Bain. I'm putting in the little more there. Again, I like Bailey too. Again, Texas Tech fan. Again, like I don't know. I feel like the Big 12, I guess the ACC ain't that great either, but the Big 12 to me is just kind of meh. Tommy's saying that he thinks Downs is probably the best prospect in the whole draft to him. I could see that, man. I mean, you've got yourself, basically a 6-foot safety, right? He is quick, a ball hawk. Maybe that's, what the Cowboys need. They do need a lot of help in the secondary. So while I do think going and getting like Reuben Bain would be great, I would also love to see the Cowboys find a way to address that secondary, because last year that secondary was atrocious. And I get it. People go, there was no pass rush. You didn't have Micah Parsons and blah, blah, blah. Shut up. That secondary was bad. Like, whether Micah Parsons was there or not, that secondary was going to get torched. You saw it. You could just throw a ball anywhere. Just chuck it up there. Huck it, chuck it, football, throw it out there, and somebody for the opposing team was going to come down with it, because the Dallas Cowboys secondary was absolute dumpster juice. So going out and getting a pretty good safety, to me, would have been really good. Saying he reminds you of Ed Reed. Wow. Now that is really high praise, my dude. I mean, if he can be Ed Reed, then I am all about the Dallas Cowboys going and drafting him. But I'm also just kind of, again, I like Reuben Baines. The Crooked Commish saying, I blame Matt Eberflus for that as well. Remember when I told y'all that Matt Eberflus was dog water and none of y'all wanted to listen to me? And you're going to give him a chance, Tip. He'll be okay. He's a really good defensive coordinator. And I was like, no, he sucks. He's so bad. And all y'all were like, no, give him a chance. He was really solid as a defensive coordinator, Tip. And I told you, when you get fired on Thanksgiving, you're not a good coach. End of discussion. And Matt Eberflus, the revolving door of Dallas Cowboys giving up points, I was not happy with. Tommy's saying that the pass rush for Dallas Cowboys was really bad. Micah covered up a lot of issues in the secondary. I get it. Again, I understand. But I still think I think it was a lateral move for the draft. The Packers got themselves a pass rusher. The Cowboys got a package of players that hopefully they can do something with. At 22, they are projected to get Akeem Mesidor. So, I mean, that wouldn't be bad. He had 12 and a half sacks last year. If he's still there at 22, then yeah, I would say okay, here's my scenario for you, Tommy. If Akeem Mesidor, if you can guarantee me that Akeem Mesidor is going to stay at 22, where the Dallas Cowboys can pick him, or at 20 rather, where the Cowboys can pick him, then you find a way, package up that number 12 with something else, and you can draft Caleb Downs, then we're good. We're good. Downs and Mesidor, I'm a happy guy. Tommy's saying, shut it, Mike. We were right about Shoddy, at least. You guys were. We're 50-50 on that. I was right about Matt Eberflus. My God, was I right about Matt Eberflus. And you know what? I'm not going to give you 100% Schottenheimer, because Schottenheimer was there the year before as the offensive coordinator. So I'm going to say it's all on Dak Prescott. That's my quarter Dak. That is who I think is the real reason the Dallas Cowboys had the great offense they had last year. It's all about Dak Prescott, baby. Give that man the love and respect he deserves. I told you all he was just as good as Joe Burrow, if not slightly better. All of you guys were laughing at, oh, no, Tip, you're an idiot. You don't know anything about football, Tip. Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Spider-Man meme. Tommy's saying we're drafting 12 and 20, and I don't like Mesidor as much. I think, again, like with the Dallas Cowboys defensive line, you put Mesidor on there, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. Kurt Commish saying, for a moment there, you sounded like Scooby-Doo gang unmasking the monster, who the monster was. Zoinks! And then Tommy saying, not as the play caller. We're not giving Dak the love as the play caller. It is 100% Dak Prescott. You can call amazing plays, but if you don't have a top 5 quarterback like Dak Prescott, you're not having the top 5 offense that you had this past season. I will die on this throne. Dak Prescott, one of the greatest of this generation. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all. Thank you all so much for the love and support. We'll see you all tomorrow on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. Have a great day.